Hi, this is Raj Dorsami with CCN, and you're literally not going to believe what we're going to talk about today, because what we're going to talk about today is not necessarily about elections or health freedom. It's something even more fundamental than that. We have Americans living here in the red state of Florida, and their ability and their opportunity to enjoy their home is being violated by a foreign corporation. So Eric Johnston, I don't know if I got that right, but that's what I think I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Tell the people what's happening.
Yeah, so I think the easiest thing for people to compare it to is Reedy Creek in Orlando with Disney World that DeSantis went to. They got more and more and more power, and then that power started to expand. In this situation, you literally have a foreign company that is getting the same kind of privileges there, and they're leveraging it for their own benefits. So districts were designed to help, communities grow, like basically the residents pay for the growth themselves. What's happening here is they're leveraging their authority for the bill itself that we're talking about, that dilutes the of the voters' rights of the residents that live in the district. And then, as the district builds, they strap them with these fees that are going to pay this corporation literally for a century. I mean, they'll be lucky to be there for 15 years, even building the entire community. But this bill and their authority literally will pay them for the next century for it, and it's just gotten out of hand.
So we don't fault a company for building homes for a profit. We don't fault a company for trying to be successful. But wait a minute. Do those houses even last a century? So it seems to me, and I'm not a legal guy, it seems to me that this company is not even being reasonable. It seems to me, what I'm hearing, is this is almost like gouging, but I don't know if I'm overreacting.
It is. Gouging is a good word, because what happens is residents aren't even aware of the stuff that's going on in the background until it's turned over to the residents. And at that point, it's just too late. So districts were designed to pay for the growth from the residents that are there. And in this case, they're using that authority to build long-term profits when they're long gone. So this foreign corporation builds a community, leaves, and then we pay it all money with nothing in return for the next century. And to me, it's Reedy Creek at a whole nother level.
At the local level, right here in Florida. And with Reedy Creek, there's an American company.
Exactly.
There's DeSantis taking on Disney. This is a foreign company. Now, have you guys as homeowners tried to express your concerns? What has that been received? What's that looking like?
Oh, many times. The one thing is, like, their meetings are open to the public, but they do not record public comment. So if you go in, like the entire meeting, there's 5 board members, 4 of them are the employees of the corporation, and they make all the decisions for the district. And when you go to the meetings themselves, public comment is not recorded. So when you look back at these meetings, it's all, the narrative is completely driven by them. So there's no way, and we've asked for help. I mean, we've been trying to get anybody and everybody to listen to us, that this is a growing problem. And if it's happening here, we're going to be the template for many more communities throughout the state. And somebody needs to just get in there, help us. I mean, I would love to see DeSantis involved. I'm shocked he's not.
In fact, speaking of the governor, and you can see, folks, some footage of the citizens in that community actually trying to get the word out, that was filmed on location there. But speaking of the governor, you had mentioned a bill that requires public participation. Yeah. What's going on there?
So right now there's a bill that's critical for us to stop. It's HB4061. It's gone through the Senate. It's gone through the House. It is literally sitting on DeSantis's desk for him to sign off on. And he's our last shot to get this vetoed. And it just went by too fast for people to understand the consequences behind it. And those consequences directly affect the people that are paying to those bonds in this district that they live in, and they're just not aware of it. And We just need help. We need people to get in touch with the governor. We need people to beg him to veto this bill and just stop it. It's just wrong.
So there you have it, my friends. Very interesting. And the reason we want to have Eric, who's representing his community here, is this is not an isolated incident. This is not an isolated incident. This is not just happening in Florida. So I hope this makes sense to the folks that are watching this here. Now, we have just a few more minutes. I also heard something about water supply. I don't know if you want to get into that.
That was kind of the turning point in the whole thing, because there was a court order. One of the neighborhoods there was in a lawsuit with them. And the judge in that lawsuit said himself that agreement was palpably obscene. Literally, the judge himself called it that. This started in 2022. And then there was a court order that the irrigation water was to stay on while this case went on. Well, the district ended up maneuvering around it and figured out a way that they could still shut off the irrigation and use it as leverage to get the community to drop a lawsuit that they had for them. So that's what really sparked everything. At that point, it's not just a matter of, causing us more money and debt in the long run. It's a matter of leveraging the authority and literally punishing the people that are questioning them in our own courts. I mean, that's, it's
incredible. It's quite incredible. So again, if you are looking at this and listening to this and think that this is not correct, if you think it's correct, well, that's your prerogative. If you think it's not correct, then Eric is requesting you to contact the governor's office. And Eric, just share the name of the number of that bill again.
Yeah, so HB4061, and we literally need people to do it today. We are down to days to get this vetoed, and we need people to do it today. HB4061, please help us.